My name is Daniel Martinez, and I'm a real estate agent in the Heights neighborhood of Houston, Texas. Today I'm excited to check out the Ready Room, a new bar next door to the popular restaurant Ritual. I'll be sitting down with the owner, Ken Bridge, and I'm interested to learn why he opened this place up, how he came up with the concept, and what kind of place he hopes it to become.
So Ken, why the Ready Room? Why this concept?
The Ready Room is a club that I wanted to bring back to light for many, many years. And it was always something that I wanted to have for the neighborhood. Something kind of low-key from the outside. When you come in, have it really kind of beautiful and elegant, and just kind of a stepping away from a different part of time or the neighborhood, you know, coming into a space that you can really enjoy and something that was very relaxing and something that made you feel extremely comfortable and at home.
So this place was the Ready Room spelled differently. Share that story of how or what used to be here and how you're building something that kind of reflects that.
When our family first moved to Houston, I believe it was in '82, I was a little bit younger. I forget what the age of drinking was back then, but this was one of our stops that we came to, and they would always have live blues and jazz 4 or 5 nights a week. And on the weekends, we would come in particular on Saturdays and see some really great blues and jazz players. And that was my first kind of real exposure to blues and club jazz. So I quickly developed a real strong passion for that. And it didn't hurt that they allowed us to kind of come into the doors also at the time. Times were a little bit different back then.
Interesting. You do a lot for the Heights, and it just so happened to be that you found this concept that you could rebuild, and it was in the Heights. Why is it so important for you to continue giving back to the Heights?
This area has been extremely good to me and my company and to my family and everyone that's involved with my company. So I think you would find the same with anyone, you know, that does business in their neighborhood, that does business in their communities. They feel a sense of responsibility to give back to a community and neighborhoods that have been so gracious and, you know, so important, you know, to someone's company and to their family and to their way of living, their lifestyle, and all of the above. So I think you'd find that anywhere with anyone, you know, that develops a business in a company or a community, or in a community or in a neighborhood. And you naturally just want to give back. I mean, we live in this neighborhood. I've been here for years, for decades. We plan on being here, you know, for the rest of our lives. So it just makes sense to kind of give back to where you know you're driving and running the streets every day and you're waving hi to the same people, and mostly everyone knows everyone. So it's just a natural thing to give back, and it makes you feel good about it. You know?
It does, and I love the Heights and the way that it's built this really nice community. As I walk into the bar, it's different from what we've seen here in Houston. Tell me the story behind the theme.
The inspiration, I think for the most part, it's like anything else. We're inspired as we grow up, as we travel, as we experience different restaurants or bars, or even certain nuances about just places and environments and atmospheres, you know, that we're at and we spend time in. We pick up just a sense of inspiration, and I would clearly say that there are certainly a handful of my favorite bars that my wife and I like to travel to, New York's a huge inspiration. LA is a huge inspiration, Chicago, and these are places that have had meaning to us traveling, where potentially we've stumbled into them and we didn't know what to expect, and there was just an amazing pianist, you know, singing, or a duo or a quartet, and you walk into some of these joints and you're not expecting that, and you end up having the most incredible time. And so these things you remember. And so I like to think that a lot of that sort of practical inspiration was put into Ready Room when I was designing it. Yeah.
When we're building something, it's never a one-man team. Tell me a little bit about how you connected with Peter and how this all came about.
Peter is one of these rare individuals that some of us never meet in life. And I've been extremely, extremely fortunate to meet a few of these individuals that I work with currently. And Peter was just one of these connections when you meet someone and you know right away, without a doubt, that you want to have a deep personal relationship with, you want to have a great business relationship with, and Peter just fit the bill. On top of that, he worked extremely hard for the last 2 years with Ritual and building that program, and now building, you know, all of the programs at all of the restaurants and bars within Delicious Concepts. And it was just natural. Originally, it's funny, Peter was hired to temporarily, for just a few months, kind of help at Ritual, and I kind of sandbagged him into spending a couple of years while we built Ready Room out. And so this was always supposed to be ran by Peter, and he was going to put the cocktail program together, which he's done an amazing job of doing so. And I felt it absolutely necessary to bring him in as the operating partner for Ready Room, and that's his story. He just did such an amazing job, and he deserves everything he gets. Wonderful person.
Peter designed the selection of cocktails here, and I know he could share more about that, but if you could quickly just share a little bit about what someone here in the Heights could find at Ready Room.
Cocktail-wise, I think that there are clearly some amazing cocktails that you would not typically find. And you know, with that said, Houston is such an amazing city, and we have incredible cuisine, and the cocktail and craft beverage programs that are, you know, and of course that Bobby started and so many people have followed and really supported are absolutely amazing and incredible. I think it's a real challenge to develop a program where people will find unique varieties or differences of offerings, and I think that Pete and Cody have done an amazing job at that. And truly, you know, we find that I think there's a lot of shock value. I see that in food, and I see that certainly in the beverage programs with craft cocktail. People want to just have a shock value and come out with some crazy random stuff. But if you really look at our menu and you look closely, you'll find that there's been so much time and passion and energy put into this program, and it tells such an amazing story. It's not just about an incredible cocktail that has a name that pays homage to, you know, one of the wards in Houston. It's so much beyond that. It's so much more, and it has so much more meaning than that. I mean, and if you come in and talk to Pete and Cody, they'll sit here, as you know, and talk your ear off and let you know every aspect and every detail about how they came up with these drinks, and it's amazing.
It's 8 p.m. on a Wednesday night. Why would they stop here?
Obviously, a big part of what our vision is for Ready Room is to bring back that live music aspect of the club. And in particular, I'm really partial to the kind of sultry, kind of smoky club and loungy jazz formats. And so that's what we're trying to bring back. And that's not to say we're going to exclude a great blues band or an up-and-coming band that fits this format. But I think we're tending to focus on that sort of clubby, loungy jazz. And so currently, if you come in at 8 p.m. on a Wednesday, we've got our jazz musicians set up and just tearing it up and doing such an amazing job. And you'll find coming in for 1 or 2 cocktails and end up staying till 1:30 in the morning because you have this incredible experience, and it's something that I don't think any other place offers at this level.
I really love the Ready Room. The vibe is very old school, but the live music and Houston-centric drink menu gives it a local and down-to-earth feel. The drinks were amazing, and it's clear that Ken, Peter, and his team put a lot of thought into making sure everything came out just right.